This just in. The clip you're about to watch was first seen live on our show, Harv and Porn.
I'm being told now that if you like it, you should probably click one of those sexy little links in the description.
Sexy? Really? You're being told that?
No, I just have some earwax.
Ugh. You wake up in a prison cell.
Hey! I know this place.
Are you familiar with the prison cells? Has Daryl been in prison a few times before? Are you a troublemaker around the town?
I like to have a drink or two, generally speaking. And some people don't like me to have the second, well, it's not really, it doesn't end at 2 usually, but...
I suppose it depends on the strength of what you're drinking. A pint or two is fine.
I may know the guards by name is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, the guards... Alright, let me invent some names for them. Bob, Jim, and Dave are standing right outside your cell. And as you kind of come to consciousness, you overhear their conversation, and all these sounds you've been hearing kind of rearrange into recognizable words. He went absolutely crazy. He was right on top of Adrian, and he started... I don't know what he was doing. He was scratching and clawing, and it was almost like he was burning him. Burning him, says Bob. Can't have been burning him. He didn't have any matches, did he? No, he was strange, though. There were burn marks all over Adrian. God, I feel so bad for his family. Funeral's next week, apparently.
Oh, but wait a second. So the 9th festival is going to be way easier for me to win now. Okay.
Assuming you make it out of this prison with murder charge dropped against you.
There is that.
Yeah. The guards kind of notice you waking up. Daryl. What have you got yourself into this time?
Well, I don't know exactly. I kicked a guy in the shin, and I put my poo on his dinner, and now I'm hearing you talk about burning and dead people. Are you sure that you weren't talking about another Daryl you might have in custody presently?
I'm pretty sure you're the only person who spells a Daryl with a Y in the town, and they actually have your documentation, so... There is another Daryl, but he spells his with an E.
Yeah, I knew that Y was gonna... Oh, God.
Yeah,
I was just trying to be fancy, you know? There was a girl, and she liked Adrian, and they're married now. Well, I guess she's available again.
Yeah,
so
she's a widow now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa.
We need somebody to help out with the bills.
Well, the guards come over, and they're, they're not... I mean, they know you. You've been in and out a few times. They know you're not a murderer. You wouldn't do something like this. And so they're not going to make too much of a mess of you. But, prison culture, they got to give you a bit of a beating. So they open up the cell, and they come on in. And that energy that you were feeling yesterday, presumably, however long it's been now, you notice it again. And as the first one kind of puts a hand on your shoulder to go for a punch to your gut, you feel like part of your soul has just ripped itself out and has gone into him. Bob reels backwards, and the voice inside your head speaks again. What would you like him to do?
Oh. What I like him to do. All right. This is Bob, right?
Yeah, this is Bob. I forgot what I named the other guys. What was it? Jim?
It was Bob,
Dave?
Jim, and Dave.
Bob, Jim, and Dave. Jim and Dave are like just watching Bob about to beat you in the chest, they assume.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is Bob, he's always been sort of more the enforcer in the crew. Jim and Dave, they're kind of cool to me. They hand me a fag after
they're content to just sit back and watch him assault you.
Bob gets a certain amount of pleasure out of the beatings, the regular beatings.
Vindictive
So what would I want? What do I want to happen to Bob? I mean, I was thinking about casting Magic Missile, but if my soul's inside of him... Okay, so...
You have to give him a short story. You have to tell his life as it should be, not how it is. Just a little quick thing. It could just be like, Bob decided he wasn't going to punch me in the stomach.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Bob got very confused about what direction I was in, swung at me, and punched the wall.
His knuckles...
Made...
Oh.
Oh, go ahead. You take go.
Oh, you've said it. The demon's like, fine. And the Bob swings at the wall, his knuckles cracking against the hard stone. And he kind of just stands there completely dazed. And doesn't do anything after that. He doesn't even seem to really acknowledge the breaking of his hand. And he just kind of stands there. Are you right there, Bob? Says Jim. Ow. Oh, Bob. Bob! And they kind of just tentatively poke him. Is this a joke? And his eyes are glossed over, he's standing there. And for a moment, everyone is still. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I feel like Light writing in the notebook. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, it was. Yagami Light. Yeah. Oh boy.
Anything else I'd like to do?
I mean, this might be your chance to escape from prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is, wouldn't it be helpful for me if, like, Bob reached out, both of his arms and kind of headlocked both of the guys and just dragged him down and held him?
Well, the demon doesn't respond when you think that.
Oh.
And it seems like Bob is just completely non-responsive at this point. But then, Jim comes along. Let's say Jim. I'm going to be mixing up these guys' names and voices. You're going to have to bear with me. I didn't plan much of this. But Jim comes along, and he is like, okay, Daryl. I'm going to change his voice completely. Okay, Daryl. I don't know what you did to him, but we're going to have to get you to the gallows, because your appointment's due in a few minutes' time. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, and again you feel this energy. But it's a bit of a familiar energy now, and you remember this feeling of your soul going out and into Bob. And you realize that you have a degree of control over it. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that you can split these soul or souls, or whatever it is that's been writhing around inside you. You can split them into as large or small fractions as you like, and imbue them into whoever touches you. And then you can tell them a story, and depending on how much of the fraction that you have placed into them, they'll be able to act out the story. It's pretty much like their intelligence is dependent on how much soul you give them. So you give them 1/10 of what you've got, and they won't even be able to move or think. If you give them 9/10...
Now, as a shit farmer, I don't have a lot of that to waste, Harvey.
Well, it's alright because it's not yours.
Oh, that's okay.
The voice inside your head speaks again, and he's like, yes, put me inside him. That sounded wrong.
Ooh. Yes, it did.
But I like wrong.
Okay, I like wrong a little bit, too.
So Jim has his hand on your shoulder now, and he's leading you out, as the other one, Dave, stays behind to keep watching Bob and make sure that he doesn't suddenly fall over.
Huh.
Is there any story you'd like for Jim to follow?
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, the certain kinds of things that you tell people, like, they don't have to believe them that much. Like, they're ready to believe it, that kind of a thing. I'm thinking Jim, have you seen Dave and your wife hanging out a lot recently?
Are you saying this, or are you imbuing this into him? Are you just asking him?
Imbuing.
You're imbuing it.
Imbuing.
You're imbuing the question of, have you seen Dave hanging around your wife lately? Okay, so Jim kind of startles back for a second. Dave? Have you been around? Oh, hang on. How much are you imbuing into him? How much of a fraction are you going to put inside this guy?
So
how much
so
are you
if
committing to this?
If I'm following here, Bob got a 10th, right? Does it come back to me, or is Bob just took a 10th there?
Well, he's still got
the
his
math
10th
works.
for now.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure how that works. But it
Gotta
feels
get
like
some
you
money
have
together
9/10 remaining.
Buy my 10th back from him. Okay. So, yeah, I got like 9/10 remaining. I feel like this is a little, like, it's just the kind of suggestion that'll, and I just need to get away. Just a little bit. Just another 10th. Just
another
a
10th. I mean, 1/10 was enough to make him punch you and miss and then not
Punch
doing it.
the wall, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
another 10th. And Jim is just kind of like, he's just looking at Dave questioningly. Dave, have you and Miranda been... He just kind of sounds confused, that he's almost doubting what he's saying, but... I've seen you two around, haven't I? And Dave is completely distracted by this utterly bizarre happenstance of his two best friends acting very strangely today, on the day following a man in the town being burned by a punch. And he's like, what? No, Jim, mate, I don't even know who Miranda is. Have I ever met your wife? Why have you never introduced us? I thought we were friends. And they both seem very distracted at this point in time.
Ooh. Oh. See, because what I want to do... No, I'm not running. I'm not running yet. What I want to do is I want to say to Jim... this is not... I'm not going to imbue it. I'm actually going to say to Jim... I'm going to say... That's a load of shit. He knows her. They were at the fair next to each other.
Yeah. You two... You were drinking from the same mug last night. He might have been ad-libbing by himself in that respect. But he gets very angry very quickly, this Jim. And he's not happy about Dave sharing mug, which is a traditional sign of intimacy in the town of Aladale. Sharing mug together. And he's completely forgotten about you at this point, and he just kind of charges at Dave. Grabs him by the shoulders. Is it true? Is it true, Dave? Are you and Miranda? Kind of a tear rolls down his face. Are you and Miranda sharing mug?
And meanwhile, I'm just sort of sidling around the nearest corner. Just don't want to move too fast. You get around a corner and then you're gone.
Well, you've got a completely open kind of path to the exit at this point, and the bars to your cell are wide open from when they came in. So everyone is pretty occupied, and Bob, it's maybe been a few more minutes since you imbued Bob, but he's still just standing there, eyes completely glazed over. Completely forgotten now by Jim and Dave as they proceed to kind of have something of a struggle against each other, intellectually wise, as they try and comprehend these two different realities which have converged.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, huh? Like, maybe I need to recover my 10th from Bob, but then Bob will be active again. I think I just got to get the hell out of here, you know?
Yeah, that might be the way. So, you want to run for the door?
I'm going to scarper.
Okay, you scarper for the door, and Dave kind of yips out, and he's like, what? He's gone! And he starts making towards you, but Jim is holding him back, and he is not happy about those two sharing mug. So you pretty much walk out completely uncontested.
I love this term, sharing mug. I'm gonna say that to the next woman who I'm dating. Would you like to share a mug tonight?
Would you like to share a mug with me? And she'll be like, oh, Ronan. Anyway, the prison is absolutely bog standard rubbish. It's 3 cells and a hallway connecting them, and then a short desk and some tables that before they came into your cell, the guards were playing cards there. There's a couple of coins on the counter that they were maybe betting with, but otherwise it's completely barren, and the front door is right there.
Okay. Well, I might as well grab the coins as I go. and boy, if there was some way that I could, sort of pin them into the jail there. I mean,
well, you could
I'm
swing.
running. There's a front door, right? So
yeah,
the front
maybe you
door
don't have enough
open
lot of time to consider this. You probably ought to just gun for the door.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I'm running for the door.
Stride up to it, swing it open, and burst out. And outside is a whole crowd of people lining up on either side of the doorway. And ahead of you stands the town gallows. And everyone kind of slowly turns towards you. And no one says a thing.
Oh, shit. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this segment from the Harv and Pawn Show, which you can catch on twitch.tv/harvandpawn every Wednesday at 4 p.m.
That's right, and you can help support the ongoing war effort by pledging to our Patreon at patreon.com/harvandpawn, or by shooting us a one-off tip at paypal.me/harvandpawn.
War effort?
Right.
There's not a war on it.
Carol, where's my laptop?
This isn't.
This is
supposed
the
to be just
show,
the end of the
Carol.
show.
God damn it! We've got
What's
a show
going on?
running, people. Let's be a bit more professional.